Nearly 40% of students were sexually harassed in Scotland's secondary schools in the last 2 months. And most of them never tell anyone. Preventing sexual harassment in schools means understanding why. A good way to do this is by using a system map. System maps visualize complexity. They show how different parts of a system interact and influence each other, so we can identify the best ways to intervene to create change. This system map was made by listening to experts. 660 students and 130 staff from schools across Scotland took part in the research. The map has 4 themes: knowledge and confidence, trust in the reporting system, communication, confidentiality and safeguarding, and the prioritisation of sexual harassment. First, knowledge and confidence. One of the big issues is a lack of understanding about what sexual harassment is and how widespread it is. This has a ripple effect. When staff aren't trained to identify sexual harassment, they don't have the skills or confidence to intervene. When they don't intervene, this contributes to the normalisation of sexual harassment, which leads to students feeling they can't report incidents. Let's look at another problem. Often, students don't report sexual harassment because they think their experience doesn't count.
A lot of people struggle to talk about it because they're worried they're just overreacting and it wasn't actually that big a deal.
When staff integrate information about gender-based violence across the curriculum, students are more aware of what sexual harassment is and feel more confident to speak up, which means schools become more aware of the scope of the problem and prioritise teaching staff and students about gender-based violence. This is a reinforcing loop, one that benefits students, staff and everyone in the system. The second theme is trust in the reporting system. Many students are reluctant to report sexual harassment or even disclose it. They often don't know who to tell, what to say, and what will happen if they do. Staff can feel in the dark too.
If there are any sanctions, I don't know what they are. Have students seen anybody face any consequences?
A common view is that reporting is risky and won't turn out well.
We're worried no one will believe us, that our pals will find out, that we won't get a say in what happens. You fear for your safety and your reputation. No one wants to be a grass.
Stories about mishandled sexual harassment incidents in the past means reporting is seen as a risky process. This fuels the perception that the system doesn't work, which makes it more likely that these stories will spread. Another reinforcing loop, one that negatively impacts the system. But by educating the whole school on how the reporting system works and reflecting on how to further improve the process, schools can increase trust in the system. The third area of the map is communication, confidentiality, and safeguarding. Incidents of sexual harassment are usually handled by a small number of trained staff to ensure confidentiality and safeguarding procedures.
This makes sense, but it can have unintended consequences.
If the first staff member to handle the report isn't part of that core team, they might not hear anything once they've passed it on.
And that can leave staff like me feeling that preventing sexual harassment isn't my job.
If communication about the reporting system is clear and appropriate feedback is given, everyone is more confident in the system and more willing to intervene or report. The last theme is prioritisation of sexual harassment.
Schools are overburdened and overstretched. But to prevent sexual harassment, we need to make it a priority. This doesn't mean adding more to our ever-growing to-do list.
If prevention is prioritised across the whole school, teachers are more likely to receive training, to educate students on gender-based violence in their classrooms,
and realise prevention is part of our job description.
The areas of the map all weave together. For example, knowledge affects trust. Trust affects communication. Communication affects priority. Every part of the system influences the whole.
We can use this map to think about gender-based violence in schools and pinpoint what needs to change. It highlights 5 key opportunities for improvement.
1. Prioritise sexual harassment prevention and response.
2. Train staff and educate students on gender-based violence.
3. Build awareness and confidence in staff and students so they feel more comfortable intervening and reporting.
4. Build trust in the reporting system.
5. Improve communication about how incidents are handled.
Addressing sexual harassment in schools sometimes feels impossible, but we can do it.
When students and teachers work with parents, councils, and partners to share the load,
We can make schools safer and better for everyone.
To find out more about Equally Safe at School and the practical things you can do, visit equallysafeatschool.org.uk